Yes, hello everybody. This is Alan from BluStreet Exotics. Today we have our first special guest. This is Sam over here from RNS Exotics. We have a cool story that we both started this business right around the same time. So that's always an exciting thing. Sam is a really great guy, runs a really good company, and is one of the few people in this business who I kind of have some respect for because me and him see eye to eye on a lot of things on how they should be run. So you're going to hear a little bit about his story, kind of how he started up, and he's going to go over a topic that needs to be heard, in my opinion, that he had on his heart that he kind of wanted to get off. So yeah, this is Sam from RNS Exotics. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for the intro, brother.
How's the business?
Ups and downs, as usual.
As usual.
Yeah,
the rental car, especially the exotic rental car business space is always a battle.
Always, man.
So you've had some unique inventory.
Yep.
One of the few guys in the tri-state that actually at one point in time had an Aventador Roadster S for rent.
Don't remind me. Don't.
Want to talk about some of your inventory that you had over
Of course. I mean, I started out 2019, like when I bought my first actual car for the business. It was a 2019 LP580.
Okay. For those that don't know, that's a Huracan, by the way.
It was and we got an ultra sweet deal on it at the time. Ultra sweet deal. I got about like 20 G's off sticker on that car because it was like the last one in inventory.
That was the time in 2018, 2019 when we first started doing this. You could actually get deals on supercars, not pay 100% over sticker.
And it was actually new inventory, not used inventory that's 20, 30 G's off a sticker.
Correct.
50-mile car, like literally car 45, 50 miles on it.
Yeah, I remember. Good times.
Yeah, man. That car lasted, we wrapped it matte white. Well, funny story about that car. When I actually came into the business initially as an investor. My current business partner, Rob, I convinced him to go half with me on that car because I couldn't swing it by myself at the time. So we bought it, and there was a company in Bayonne. I'm not going to say their name, let them be.
Let them be.
Yeah, let them be. They were renting it out for us.
Yeah.
And just doing the usual things that people do when they take people's cars. Rented it behind their backs, not doing the insurance, giving it to the wrong people. I eventually pulled the car, and now I'm stuck with this Huracan that I just paid $230,000 for. We financed. I got $3,500 a month of payments. What I had to do, I had to rent it out myself. So that was a blessing in disguise.
The launch of the business, the gift and the curse.
Absolutely,
as they call it.
The inciting incident.
Yeah. Well, that's actually a funny piece because as much as we talked, I actually didn't even know that, which is actually pretty cool. You got to be really careful because we got a lot of guys now that are just buying cars and just handing them to people and have no idea how the process is run.
Yeah, man. It's just they just think everybody has like some fantasy level of integrity. They just think, I can give this car to my guy and I'm gonna get it back in one piece. Which, dude, 95% of the time I've seen people do that. Never ends good.
Yeah.
Never ends good.
It's usually gonna be a bad story.
Absolutely. I've seen too many. And just people get stuck with a car, payment, totaled car. They don't have the money to fix it. They got to keep paying for it. But
talking about that now, talking about the whole process of people having cars that they're probably very negative in or behind in or probably just can't even just afford. I feel like that big aspect has welcomed a lot of people into this space because it allows them, quote unquote, ways to offset some of their debt.
Absolutely. But the thing they don't realize is just like, if you're already negative in the car, you're renting it out, car's getting damaged, little things are happening. When damage happens, they fix it the wrong way. Yeah. The integrity of the construction of the car gets compromised. Yeah. They rack the miles up on it. So it's like, you're making enough to make your payment, but then you're just burying yourself deeper into a hole because a rental car depreciates with mileage and wear a lot faster than a personal car.
Yeah, correct.
I
think that, let's just talk about miles and depreciation. And let's talk about, I'm going to let you go on because if I start talking, we'll be here for hours.
Yeah, man.
Let's talk about, from your perspective, how important is it to factor in depreciation? How important is it to factor in miles? And understanding that doing things like unlimited miles and free range miles is probably some of the worst things that you can do for your business,
Let's leave the unlimited miles in Miami. Let's not bring that up to. Let's not bring that up to the Northeast.
Yeah, let's leave that.
Let's leave that in South Florida. Yeah, man. That's the one thing I don't like. Yeah, it looks good on paper. You lease a car for $2,000 a month. How much is a GLE right now? A GLE coupe, like $2,000 a month.
A GLE coupe is anywhere between probably $15,000 to $2,000 a month. Okay. On lease, finance probably closer to $2,000. You know, those
Absolutely.
cars rent for about anywhere from as low as 400 to as high as 600 a day.
600 is like top market.
Yeah, for like a GLE 53, 63.
Okay. So say you got a GLE, renting it out. What's a good month for a car like that? 15 days, would you say?
12 to 15 days.
12
is
to
mid.
15 days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, say your car payment's $2,000 a month. You're renting it out. You're making you're 9,000 minus your car payment 7,000. Your insurance. Say you have the best driving record. Your insurance is $200 a month. Yeah, you have that $7,000 window, but what's that car depreciate? Like $1.50 a mile?
If you want to be nice,
$1.50 a mile.
if
I want to be
nice,
generous,
you could
right?
probably say
Okay.
75 cents to $1 a mile minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So figure you're doing 10 rentals a month. No, 15 rentals a month. Say each person's putting 100 miles on it, which is about average for.
Just not happening.
Yeah,
they're gonna put more miles
100%.
on it.
We're being generous now.
Yeah, we're being generous.
We don't want to completely,
Yeah.
completely destroy the number, even though it should be.
Yeah.
1,500 times $1.50 is, if I whip out my calculator, is what?
That's-
Do the math. 1,500 times $1.50. It's another $2,250 a month in depreciation. Obviously, you're not going to see that because it's not like it's going to be coming out of
It's
your
not
pocket.
initial.
Yeah, that's back end. When you go to sell it, because you're not going to keep it forever. You're going to see something else you want. You're going to want to get rid of it.
Well, and especially being in the Northeast, the Northeast customer wants something fresher, something newer.
Absolutely.
They always want the
Yeah.
the new of the new, I guess you can say. And that's one
course.
of the hardest things about our business to keep up with is, new models coming out.
Absolutely.
I'll never forget when we bought our 2020 S560 Mercedes, and then 8 months later they dropped the refresh with
Yeah,
the
the
S580.
580, yeah,
I was
man.
like, well, this is worth nothing now.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. And then it's like the smallest facelift on like a BMW or Benz, you just lose another 15K
Yeah.
in depreciation. Like it's just ridiculous.
So you just recently got a new edition. You don't have to talk about it, but
Yeah,
you said that facelift was a nice one.
Yeah,
We'll talk about that
it
one
did.
later.
2023 Eurosas,
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Absolutely.
But yeah, going into miles and depreciation, that's a big one that a lot of people don't factor in.
They don't, man. And it's just like they don't realize it when you go to sell a car and the worst thing I mean, obviously, I'm in one bad position now with a Rolls Royce we own just because I bought it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit of an emotional purchase, but I've decided to keep it. But I really don't run into that issue too much where I have to come out of pocket to sell a car. I usually break even to get money back. But like the worst thing is you go to sell a car and then you have to pay to sell it. Imagine having to go sell a car and write a check for
It just
15, 20 grand.
eats up any profit that probably
Exactly.
made.
And chances are you already spent all the money you made. If you're taking the advice of if you're taking the advice of the person who told you to do that in the first place, chances are you're spending all your money.
Yeah, no, 100%. I don't think a lot of people getting into the business. I think a lot of people just factor in the payment and insurance. But
no.
I've spoken about this many times. But obviously, you run your business a little different than mine. Very similar, but a little different. What are some other expenses? Remember, we just spoke about miles. We just spoke about depreciation, and obviously there's payments and insurance if the car's not paid outright. But a lot of people don't factor in a lot of the other stuff.
Yeah, maintenance. I mean, maintenance on newer cars though, even like these newer cars, maintenance it's a factor, but it's really not because these new cars they don't need as much maintenance as older cars. Maintenance, if you can you don't have to go to a dealer to do it. You can do it at a good certified technician for like a little less. So maintenance, I wouldn't call it like I wouldn't really call that a big expense depending on the car. Like oil changes, as long as you stay on top of it, oil changes, spark plugs, it's a couple bucks here and there. Tires, I mean, chances are if a tire gets damaged on a car, if a client did it, he has to pay for it. Correct. So that's not really an expense, unless you're out there driving your cars around when they're not rented and you blow.
Do you drive your cars a lot?
Rarely.
Because I know that's
for promo. I will.
I know that's a very popular thing that people are doing now and promoting online is, oh, you're gonna buy this asset that is for a business to make money, but you can just use it and drive it around for free. How often do you think you drive? And you have some really nice stuff.
I do.
How often do you drive your stuff?
Recently, if I have to do like some promo or I have to go somewhere and have
promo's
a nice
business.
Yeah,
I'm talking about just
exactly.
using
No,
it to just-
personally, listen. Once in a while, if I'm having a rough day, I need to clear my head. Maybe I'll go out for a drive in like my Huracan or something.
Yeah.
I'll put like 10 miles on it and come home. I'm not gonna put 100 miles on it.
Yeah, exactly.
And even when I drop my cars off to my clients, I put it on a trailer
Yeah.
because
You're probably if not the only guy in the tri-state, which is something that we're going to be looking to do very, very soon. Is you're probably one of the few guys that does deliveries with a truck and trailer.
Yeah, and it's crazy how much money it'll save you, man.
Yeah.
Really.
Because
Even with like a 1500.
Yeah, because of what we were talking about earlier about depreciation and miles.
Yeah.
And it's really professional.
It is, absolutely. And the customers love it. You pull up with a car packed nice on a one-car trailer, you're undoing it, driving it off. It makes the experience for them more like surreal, because it's like the car's pulling up to their house. There's nothing wrong with it. That's what I did forever. Like, there's nothing wrong with dropping a car off like that. But the customers' perception of the experience is just so, especially if they've never driven a car like that before.
Yeah.
They got a nice $300,000 car pulling up in front of them, in front of their house on a trailer, and then their neighbors come out.
It makes it that much more special.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like a special.
The neighbors don't know if they bought it.
Yeah,
they don't know what's going on.
100%, man. 100%.
Especially seeing a yellow Huracan.
Even a Urus. Like, I'll tow a Urus with my 1500. My Rolls Royce, the Dawn, I'll tow with my 1500.
That truck is working.
Oh yeah, it's working, man. Overtime.
Working. So yeah, I'm gonna have you do some math right now.
Please.
I have my.
Please, because somebody has to do this math.
I was gonna get you a whiteboard, but we have this yellow board, so you're gonna use that to kind of go over some numbers, because people like to see visually the numbers on what we are talking about when we're talking about depreciation, miles, purchasing the car. And there's been some interesting trends that have been going on. Some companies have different ways of going about it. Me and him have had conversation about some of the people in the industry who are handling business. Charging for memberships, which is 100% acceptable if you have the base to be able to do it. Charging for onboarding cars. Some guys are just taking just random stuff off the street, not really vetting the cars and see how they are. So we've seen some good things from some of the guys in our industry to create some more volume. We've definitely seen some bad things that were like, there's no way this is gonna last, because at the end of the table, somebody's gonna get burnt unless you're just selling them the dream on some fake numbers.
Man, of course.
Now, the good thing is, especially coming out of 2020, we've seen the great potential to do some great volume. 2020 was kind of a fun year.
It was,
especially in this business. So the growth potential, we know from physical, our own experience, that the growth potential is there. But it is refreshing and very humbling what the market did to kind of calm everybody down, to give you some more perspective, to make sure that you're not paying $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 over a sticker for a vehicle, because if you're renting that vehicle, that car is it's not like it's gonna be a low mileage car.
No, it's not.
So it's not gonna hold that value as much as you may think it is. So I'm gonna let you kind of fly and do some numbers so you can show the people.
Yeah, okay. Well, the first thing is, like, I'm not gonna say no names, but it's like, I see these things on Instagram, and I look into them, and you got these guys that charge like $25,000 to onboard a car.
Yeah, that's a ton.
$25,000.
Yeah.
For me to give you my car, you want me to rent your car? Okay, give me $25K.
I mean, for the business, that's genius.
Yeah.
Just being honest.
It is, absolutely.
For the end user.
Yeah. To generate quick capital, of course.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's the math I really want to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, what do they give for $25K? 70%, right?
I mean, we've been seeing anywhere from 50 to 70%. I've been seeing, there's a lot of guys, especially some of the guys in Miami and New York. LA has been really popular now. We've been seeing it over and over.
Okay.
50 to 70%, for 25 grand.
Okay, so say, and then and if you don't have a car, you got to give them $25K, and they sell you a car.
Correct. You got to buy a car too.
Okay, so say you onboard a car like a GLE coupe. What's the newest one? The GLE 53?
Yeah, we just added the GLE 63, so that one's a little bit more.
Yeah, but you're the only guy with that. Most of these guys have 53s.
Yeah, most of the guys have 53s.
They have 53s, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so say you get a 2022 GLE 53. How much is a used one?
90 to 100 grand.
Okay. Let's say purchase price, and we'll show you guys all this math after I'm done writing.
We'll hold it up for you.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go step by step. So we got a purchase price of, say, we're not even going to factor in tax, because I already did this math, and it's already terrible. So we're not going to even factor in the tax, which in Jersey is 6 point something. I know New York is 8.874.
Yeah.
Okay, so say you get a 2022 GLE 53. It's a $92,000 car. You're excited. You just bought a Benz for 90 grand, which is a beautiful car. GLE 53 is a beautiful car.
Mint. And they rent good.
Yeah. So here's the first step, guys. Can you see it?
Yeah. We'll zoom in. Don't worry. We're good.
We bought our GLE. So I called somebody. I gave him $25K. I gave him $25K, and they just sold me a GLE 53 for $92,000. And let's assume that I have 750 credit, and I've never had a late payment, I've never had a collection. So now, what is interest rates? And I'm paying like 8% right now on my new Euros.
If you have 800 credit score, you'd
You're
be
paying
like
like
6.75, almost 7%.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, you're between 7 and 8%.
Even on a car like this, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So say you bought it, and they offer their own in-house financing too, which I'm not going to speak on that. I don't know what they do.
That's a whole nother.
Yeah. Well, let's not even get super cluttered with the financing these guys come up with. I don't even know where they pull it from. Well, let's say you go to like a regular bank, you do a regular traditional finance, a personal finance, which you shouldn't do. You should do a business finance. But say you do a personal finance, $92,000, you're paying a 7% rate. And keep in mind, we didn't pay tax. So if we can break out our car loan calculator, we're going to do a 72-month finance.
Yeah, let's max it out to make it fair.
Yeah, let's go. Let's see. Because a lot of these banks don't even go 84 months anymore.
No,
Even the brand banks, they don't do it.
They're scared just as we are.
Yeah,
they know what is happening.
Yeah, dude.
And like I said, what we're doing right now is 100% just to give you guys some input. This is our opinion on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously some people have had success in many different arenas, but we're just looking at this from our perspective because that's kind of all we have, right? You know,
Absolutely.
just to shed some light, give some knowledge on what's going on because we don't want people getting robbed blind out here.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Well, this car loan calculator that I pulled up includes tax if you put in the zip code.
Okay.
So what I did is we have the $92,000, 7% APR, 72 months with New York State tax, 8.875. Your payment on this car is $1,708. And how much is insurance on a GLE, you think? If you have a good driver.
Anywhere from $300 to $400.
Okay, so we'll be generous. We'll say
Yeah.
$300 for insurance.
If you're the Brooklyn boys, the Bronx boys, probably double.
Yeah, they probably won't even insure you. So we're at 1708 plus 300. We're at $2,008 a month that you're into this car now. This is with tax. With tax, with insurance. Let's hold this up. Okay, so we did the math. 7% APR. You have top credit. You got 7%, which top credit a few years ago, you would have got like 4%. But nowadays, good credit, you get 7%. 7%, $1,708, that's your payment with tax. This is also zero down. You didn't put any money down. You literally signed and drove. Signed and drive. $300 for insurance a month. That's monthly. So your nut right now in this car is $2,008 a month. All right. So this is the purchase. We're going to box this off. This is strictly your purchase. We're going to put it. And keep in mind, you still gave the guy 25 grand to buy this car.
And that's if they allow you to buy this car with no money down.
Exactly. So, yeah. So just factor in that your cost basis is already $25,000. So you just paid a quarter of the value of the car just to give it to somebody to rent it. So let's just keep that in mind. So I wrote that up here. Cost basis so far is $25K. All right. So now comes the fun part of the business, operations.
Oh yeah. Let's not
The fun. This is the easiest part. This is where everybody makes money and drives exotic cars for free and has no headaches, right?
No accidents.
No accidents.
No theft.
You know, bottles on the weekends.
Yeah. 100%.
Rolex watches, Gucci sneakers.
I got something.
I got a Casio. Yeah.
I got a Burberry. There's a couple hundred.
Yeah, man. I didn't sell enough courses to get a Rolex yet.
I didn't inborn on enough people to give me $25K to.
We'll get there.
Rollie.
We'll get there.
Maybe we could. Never mind.
Yeah, we'll save that for later.
Okay.